Jesus don't mind.
It is a song strictly for degenerates.
And you're probably expecting a big Spotify jump when you put on it. It seems that way.
I mean, I'm hoping. Hell, I mean, that's the thing. You never know. You
Yeah.
drop something, it could take off. It could get a lot of momentum. It could fall flat.
So the songs that you put out, the singles that really blew up, how long did it usually take you from dropping it till you actually like saw like just a momentum change?
Um, I mean, honestly, that's the thing. The songs before, like this year, I would drop them, and I would see various spikes, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and they would keep carrying, and I could see like they were resonating with people, especially at shows. Like Deep End was probably the first one
Yeah.
that got us a good amount of like recognition,
Mm-hmm.
and it would like go up and down, and people would they'd be like play Deep End at shows, and so we'd always save it towards the end of the set, and we still do. It's still one of the ones we play towards the end of the set,
Nice.
but yeah, I mean that's definitely one that kind of I first started to notice things like that. Whereas like Wild Ones, we dropped that April 3rd of this year,
Yeah.
and that's the one that has performed.
That's the cover art with the pool table, right? Yeah, that's the one I listened to.
The,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the pool
yeah.
table's what we're looking at.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm a married man. That's exactly.
Hey, I get it. But no, yeah. So that one, yeah, that one dropped April 3rd, and that one was the one that I saw really raise my floor for
Yeah.
listeners, for fans, and everything. Because before I dropped it, before all that, I was sitting around like 3,000 monthly listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And which isn't bad. That's still top 80 or
Yeah,
top
that's what.
20%. Yeah. But I saw that it started to kind of like take off on TikTok, and honestly, I posted a TikTok with the song,
Mm-hmm.
not even knowing like an exact release date.
Uh huh.
I knew I was going to drop it like in the next month or two. I was going to honestly wait till closer to May
Yeah.
and do that.
Which is kind of like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
per genre, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
appropriate.
either like late April or sometime early May is
Yeah.
when I had planned to drop it, and I had the stomach flu, and I was sitting on my couch, just in pain,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up making some shit post of a TikTok.
Yeah.
Honestly no, what I saw some other artist on TikTok. He used the same format. It was just a picture and said, "Honestly, do you think my music has a shot?"
I've
And
seen a lot of that trend.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then the next slide was like another picture and it had the lyrics.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, that guy got 300 likes on that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind 300 likes. And so I did that and I ended up getting like 17,000 likes.
Yeah.
Like over 100,000 views. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I doubled down. I did my homework on what I needed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I was posting like 3 to 5 times a day and just regurgitating that song nonstop to
Yeah.
the point like I was getting exhausted because I was like, okay, I need to wake up, make a TikTok, put it in my
It's
drafts,
exhausting.
put
Yeah.
it out at around noon, and then whenever I go my lunch break at work, okay, I need to go make another 1 to 2 TikToks in my car. Which like that kind of became a thing too because people were like, man, lunch break TikToks, here we are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I mean that was something too, and but then between the month that it started to kind of take off on TikTok and then like to where we released it, I saw my monthly listeners go from like 3,000 to 5,000, and I was like, oh, okay, so
Yeah.
like people are not only like excited for this song, but I'm getting a couple people
There's a
that
turnover from
yeah,
it. Yeah.
I'm getting a couple people that are like, oh, this is like he actually
Mhm.
has other stuff, like I'm gonna listen to his other stuff, and then I dropped that song, and actually it's kind of cool that we're here today.
Mhm.
Considering you texted me last night.
Last night. Yeah.
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 That's as of today. That song hit 100,000 on Spotify. And it's only been out like a month and a week. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it hasn't been long.
It's cool when you go in the analytics and you see like how much time is consumed from like people. You're like, man, like a whole year, like I got people to listen to a whole year combined of whatever it is and
Yeah.
whatever the viral video is. And
No, and so ever since that song dropped, and people have been listening to more of my other stuff too,
yeah,
but I think that song alone raised my floor because now, like, it's been over a month since the initial spike
hmm
and everything, and we're sitting at like 28,000 monthly listeners. It got up to like
yeah,
30,000, I think. So like we're sitting right around there, and then summertime's always like a good time for us too, because
yeah.
a lot of summer playlists, like we know our music is on a lot of that.
hmm
So
Yeah, I
just
don't know. Like, it seems like country as a genre is changing a little bit. I could see like the mold was you got to get that single out like late spring, right before concert season hits. But really, like, not everybody's singing about beers and trucks anymore, and you don't have to have that single out right before Jambo for it to be effective. You can kind of
right,
drop it, throughout the year.
right, and I mean that's true. I mean, and we have some songs that are
You
fun
have to,
rockin' party
yeah,
songs, and it's like okay, these do make sense to release in spring,
right.
summertime. But then like we have some other songs too that we're going to be putting out that are, I mean, honestly, some of them are deeper cuts to me
hmm
that just they're not like fun party songs. They are,
Yeah.
some of them are sad, some of them are they really make you look inward. I
hmm
think at least they made me look inward when I wrote them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's yeah, country music has definitely changed in that
hmm
respect.
And it is just so crazy the avenues of success. I mean, just to be able to put out your own stuff to a TikTok and spread it out without having to go through a major distributor. I mean, back when I started, like the only way to really get, not the only way, but a major way to get, it was called like the Florida Georgia method, is like you go to like an Ohio, you go to like say Ohio State convention for their fairs, and you can press them, and then you go out and book your own stuff. Now you can just DM the fairs directly. It's so nice. It's
Hmm.
so nice. And then when you have those numbers like you have to back up, it's like that's what like most clubs care about, is just all right, let me see the numbers, and then they kind of like look into your press
Right.
kit and all that stuff.
Right, yeah. A lot of clubs they just care about the numbers now, and they honestly, I feel like a lot of them don't even look at a press kit anymore.
I think it's more of like what your Instagram homepage looks like.
Yeah,
Like
what does your
what's your
Instagram? What does your
thumbnails?
Instagram look like, and what does your like Spotify look like? Maybe
Yeah,
TikTok,
yeah.
stuff like that. And I think those alone now can get you booked.
I'm glad you said that because been telling people like these electronic press kits that you're emailing. I mean, the people that are booking these bars now, they're younger than us, so they're looking at Instagram as soon as if somebody enters their club, they say, "Hey, you should book this band." Where are they going to? They're going to immediately go to their Instagram page and be like, "Oh, this person has 100K followers." They go through their thumbnails. They see people on podcasts. They're active. They're doing like what you're doing, just posting constantly. I mean, it's a no brainer. And
Yeah, and honestly too, like one thing I did kind of recently, um, I had like a couple TikToks where people were commenting like, "Hey, come play a show here, come play a show here."
yeah,
So I would like screenshot it and like get those comments, and I just put those comments into an email for booking, and I was like, "Hey, this many people want to see me play
yeah,
here. Let's do it."
yeah.
So and the stuff like that. I mean, really, yeah, the press kit I think is starting to become kind of outdated. I think more so now it's like a branding kit is what
hmm
you need.
It's harder to lie about numbers too
Yeah.
when your followers are right there.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And honestly, that's I look at that as a good thing, because it gets frustrating too when you see like an artist who is just going balls to the wall with it,
hmm
who they are grinding day in day out, and they do have the numbers.
Yeah,
But then you see like another artist who fabricates those numbers,
yeah,
and then they get a
hmm
good slot on a festival lineup, or they get in a cool venue.
yeah,
Like now it's kind of those people are having a hard time booking, which I
yeah,
think is good. Like go
yeah.
put in the work and get the numbers if you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, you can fake it till you make it. You can fake it and then say get into these festivals where like it's harder to track how many people you're bringing in. But if you're faking these numbers and like say you're playing somewhere like say Jurgles and you're like convincing them through this press kit that you're going to bring thousands in and then like they see the numbers to see you and only you, you can that's when you can kind of get the phonies out of there. But I mean, because
Right.
there is methods like to go on Fiverr and just like I'm gonna buy 50,000 followers, but I think it's getting more and more transparent of who's doing that, and
Yeah,
it'll come
and
to bite you. Is
yeah,
karma.
and I think too. I think at least I hope that venues are starting to kind of catch on to that because I feel like a lot of them have fallen for that.
Yeah.
For instance, I mean I won't name names, but a buddy of mine he actually books like a bar slash music venue type
Mm-hmm.
deal, and he initially was like, "Hey, like, what do you think of this person? Like, they want to play here.
Mm-hmm.
Here's their Instagram, Facebook, and all that." And I was like, "Okay, well." They have 14,000 followers on Facebook. They have, 10,000 followers on Instagram. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go look at their posts. They're getting
Yeah.
2 to 3 likes a post.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one's engaging with them.
Yeah.
They either bought their followers or they had one viral spike way back when and it
Yeah.
has died out
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah. I had a because my TikTok was like that. I had viral spikes, and then I had a rebrand. And I kind of just like build it back up from
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah, and a lot of people do that too, and that's good too because you already have that built-in
mm-hmm.
audience.
Yeah, and it could be too. It's like somebody could be really, really popular, have a lot of friends that would initially follow them, but they might be posting at noon every day. You know what I mean? It could
Yeah.
like they could just have like poor marketing skills, or there's something off though. Like when you see that, there is something off, and that's just a beige flag, I guess they could say, to like look further in. Like then you click on the followers and you see like, oh, this guy's from Nicaragua. But you start scrolling, this guy's from Puerto Rico, but it's supposed to be
Right.
this like local, like yeah,
Right. Well, and then the other thing is too is like, have you seen that whole trend of talking about like blue dot fever?
uh,
Yeah. So
what's this?
it's a big thing right now. So like Post Malone, he canceled his tour, right?
Okay,
Which honestly, I like Post Malone. I do.
uh huh,
I like music of all different
uh
kinds.
huh,
So I hate to see this happen, but like he had this tour planned and he canceled like a good part of it.
uh huh.
And a lot of people are saying it's because he couldn't fill the seats. The
Okay,
empty
yeah,
seats on Ticketmaster are
yeah,
blue dots, so it's called blue dot fever.
I gotcha.
And while I'm not saying that happened with him because he's clearly a mega
Right,
superstar,
right,
like he's huge.
yeah,
I think you're seeing people who do have like big TikTok followings or big Instagram followings that those followers don't necessarily translate into ticket sales.
yeah. It's like, are do you have followers, or are you good at getting attention to yourself? Because like, are people engaging? Are they paying attention? Like, when you see, I do that a lot of times with podcasts. It's like, are we having a good conversation? Somebody wants to like, they'll see a clip and they want to engage in and like listen to the whole episode. Are we just like trying to think of the most viral thing I can tell you in the first 3 seconds to get people to watch like one reel?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also like, again, it's a whole different animal when you look at ticket sales and the live show versus what's on social media.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, hell, we can go and book a show anywhere in the Ohio Valley
Hmm.
and likely pack the place.
Yeah.
I only got 3,000 Instagram followers.
Right.
So, like, that's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Like,
Yeah.
can you put asses in seats?
Yeah.
And I think
That's yeah.
and I think that's something that is lost on a lot of people too. And I see how some labels and management companies are kind of doing the workaround on it because what they'll do is they'll get like their TikTok artists that blew up on TikTok.
Hmm.
They'll get them on a festival lineup
Yeah.
where it doesn't matter if they bring people because
Exactly.
they're not
Yeah.
the headliner,
Yep.
but they're on the lineup. And
Hmm.
so then they say, okay, you have the social media following. Let's get you your actual live following. Like,
Yeah.
and then they'll make them tour. They'll make them do all that and really cut their
Yeah.
teeth, which is good. But then again, you see some TikTok artists kind of fall flat with that,
Yeah.
who they'll go and they'll play, and it's like they've clearly never been on a stage before.
Yeah.
And, it sucks because I know if it were me, I would hate for my first time on stage to be a big venue
Yeah.
or a festival. Like, I'm so happy that I started out like
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
of the nastiest dive bars.
Hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Barton Trap was my first one. Down in the bar. That was yeah.
I think my first legitimate show where I brought people was House of Brews in Fallensby.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, it's like if you build your whole TikTok brand off like you're performing to yourself overdubbed, I couldn't imagine that first time going on and like your crowd hearing what your actual voice is for the first time, and maybe somebody holding a phone up, and you're thinking, "Oh no."
I'd be shitting my pants, man.
Yeah.
I'd be shitting my hell. There's times I'm on stage and I'll hear someone yell something that's hilarious, and it'll take me out of it.
Yeah.
Hell, last two shows, no, not the last two shows, two out of the last three. Because we normally end the show with East Ohio,
Okay.
and two out of the last three. The first one of my buddies was right in the front row, and he's a loud motherfucker,
Uh-huh.
and he yells, "I love you, Gandalf," which Gandalf is the name of one of my cats.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
which it just, I was in the middle of singing it, and I just start busting up laughing. Like I kept going with the song because, like, you keep going, but it just it made me laugh so hard. Like I forgot like the last line of the second verse or whatever. And I told him after the show, I was like, "Hey, what are we never gonna do again?" He goes, "I'm not gonna mention the cat. I swear." But and it, yeah. So I mean, that's just, you get one of those things, and like stuff like that can throw you off. So being a new first timer
Yeah.
on stage, like you don't
Yeah.
know what to expect.
Yeah. The first, I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like you get this whole brand that like this whole persona that you should be headlining these festivals, and you get thrown into this festival. It's like when I did Jamboree in the Hills, I never really understood like how monitoring works
Hmm.
because I've always played small dive bars until like I hit a note on my guitar before they turned the monitors on, and I didn't hear it until 2 seconds later because the echo from that back hillside finally hit me. So if like from a technical standpoint, these huge TikTok stars, they get on stage, they're looking at a crowd they've never seen before. They're listening to these monitors they've never seen before. They don't realize like all this stuff going on, all these
Dude, the
cues.
first time I ever played on a stage like that, and someone was like, "You got enough in your monitor?" I legit was like, "Oh, I don't need it." Like
Yeah,
I was like, I played dive bars. It's cool. I can hear it. And they were like, "No, you're not gonna be able to hear it when the full band's playing and the drums are on." And then we did like a legit sound check, and I was like, "Okay, I
yeah,
need it in the monitors."
yeah.
Like it's that, yeah.
An episode of the podcast is brought to you by Groundbreakers Demo and Dirt, providing the Ohio Valley with residential landscaping, excavation, dirt moving, demolition, retaining walls, gratings for them, ponds, and they've really expanded their business into pools as well. Give them a call at 304 639 8161 and check them out on all social media. All you got to do is go to lnk.bio/groundbreakers. Super simple. We'll put the link at the bottom of the video and make it even more super simpler. And if you check them out on the social medias, RIG Studios is making content for them. So you get to see some testimonials, the work that they're doing. You get to see some tutorials, special offers as well. And even when they're hiring right now for seasonal house cleaning. So yeah, get a hold of them. Check them out all social media, lnk.bio/groundbreakers, and give them a call at 304 639 8161.
You don't do tracks or anything, right?
No,
You
we
just
don't
do,
do
yeah,
tracks. Yeah,
yeah,
no. But we have some pretty grueling practices where
yeah.
like we will go start to finish. It won't always be in order, but we'll go start to finish, and we'll like say, "Hey, let's make sure that we do this here, this here, this here." Leave room. The thing is, I don't ever want to do tracks like that because there is something to say about it being impromptu. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I want my guitarist to go on an insane solo while I go shotgun beers in the
Yeah.
audience. Heck, Saturday night, man, whenever we have a part in the show where, I go down in the audience and
Mm-hmm.
I pick someone to shotgun a beer with. And this time I picked one of my boys. His name's Waggy, and I couldn't find him. Like it was so packed. I was like trying to inch through
Uh-huh.
people, and I was trying to get to him, and I couldn't find him, and I was just like standing there for a solid minute, just like looking for him, and eventually he got to me, and I could just hear the band like they were just going to town on it. Like they just kept going, kept playing. But like if we were doing it to a
Yeah,
click, it's like,
exactly.
okay, I would have had to have stopped. I would have had to have got back up on stage
Yeah.
if we were doing tracks.
There was a quote that Frank Zappa had about like guitar soloing and not playing tracks. He was like, I know the song we're playing. I know like what part is coming up where I get to have my solo. I know how long I get to play. Everything else is just us against the forces of nature. And I like that. Just like what you can create on that spot. And I love that because thinking like Jamboree in the Hills, Toby Keith went on that stranglehold run where they played it for 20 minutes, I
Yeah.
think, while he went around and yeah, and you need those impromptu
Right.
moments.
Well, and that's the thing too is like there are times where I look at the guys, I'm like, let's make this song 10 minutes long.
Yeah,
Everyone get a six solo, and
yeah,
just let's rock it.
yeah,
And I think the other part of that too is kind of an artist thing. Um, when you release music, it's crazy because whenever I first started and first started releasing music, the people at my shows were all people I knew, all
hmm
people I've gotten drunk with, I've hung out
yeah,
with, I've, you know, had like intimate times with. And now it's like we do shows and there's people showing up that I've never met before. They've
yeah,
only ever listened to my stuff. They've only ever seen me on TikTok or listened to my stuff. And so having those impromptu moments and having the little screw up moments too,
yeah,
like because there's a moment where like one of us is going to screw up. It's bound to happen every now and then,
yeah,
and like you want to kind of have that almost. You
hmm
don't want it to be bad or anything, but that kind of shows the audience, the people that don't have those personal
yeah,
experiences with you, that personal relationship, that gives them a further insight into
hmm
you, into the band, into everyone in there. Because like
yeah,
I don't know, like my guitarist, like that's the thing is, for instance, you can listen to any of my songs and you'll hear him playing, or my bass player, or my drummer, fiddle player, whoever, and you'll hear him playing, and you're like, "Damn, that sounds good."
hmm
But then showtime comes. You don't want it to be exactly
yeah,
like the record. You want it to sound like it,
right,
but you don't want it to be exactly like, because you want something cool.
yeah,
You want something out of the ordinary, and
yeah,
it's like heck, man, sometimes if we let the guitarist go on for a long run, he'll start playing with his teeth.
yeah.
Or like,
I used to do that. I'd be fucking my teeth out from
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah, like he'll start doing that, or like the bass player will start really getting into some cool licks. Like, it gives the audience that doesn't have those personal relationships with us and further
yeah.
insight into who we are,
Well,
which I
from
love.
a mistake, like doing a mistake standpoint, like if you're doing it impromptu and I make a mistake, I have a string break or something, I can look at you, we can laugh, and I can adjust. But like if I'm on stage and like a track starts skipping, I'm just looking forward and panic. I don't, you don't know really on the spot. The musicians don't know how to fix it on the spot. You have to go to whoever is running the track at that time. If they, I mean, you
Well,
start getting like this four count that starts repeating itself, speeding up, playing a different song when you're in the middle of a song.
well, not only that, but like you lose the ability to call audibles.
Yeah.
So like whenever I make a set list, I'll have the songs we know for sure we're playing,
Mm-hmm.
but then I'll have a small section underneath all of them that are our audibles, and it's like if the crowd's really feeling it, we're gonna throw one of these in there.
Yeah.
If we have the room jumping, I'm not gonna, bring it on down with beer and cigarettes or something like that. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
play a slower song. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, okay, we're gonna move that song around in the set. Either we'll come back to it or just not play it,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna play one of the audibles. And it's normally something like fun, upbeat that like we
Yeah.
know we can rely on. And so like when you're doing tracks, you kind of lose that option.
Yeah. The most notorious audibler I've ever played with is Gage.
Oh yeah,
He's the king of like calling out like an audible right before a song and never had a problem, but sometimes we would have a replacement that night. Like it'd be like Greg Molnar playing bass for us that night, and he
yeah.
would be like, we're doing Grundy County Auction into like this song, and then I would like have to sprint over to Greg and be like, all right, we actually only play like only two verses of this song, but this next song is actually a half key down. Like I had to like explain what's going on because like when you have replacements coming in, they
Oh
have
yeah. When
they
you
do your
have
homework.
replacements coming in, that definitely
Yeah,
limits what you can do. They could be the best in the world,
yeah,
but like it limits what you're able to do
hmm
because I mean, unless they've been to enough practices where they know
yeah.
exactly how you play everything, like that can really.
Now, are you looking for keys or a fiddle right now?
Yeah, that was just for one show, and
Okay,
then
okay,
because my fiddle player he can't make it.
yeah,
Which also we're just looking to kind of round out, having people for stability reasons.
yeah.
Um,
In the little black book.
in terms of keys or fiddle, because we had a keys guy that was very reliable, Alton Wong, and
Mm-hmm.
he is moving away. He's moving to Kansas City, I believe. Um, So that being that, we
Yeah.
need someone to fill in, and we found that we really like fiddle with our sound.
Yeah.
I think it really hits well with what we do. But also we've learned that keys hit just as well.
Mm-hmm.
So because we do kind of like toe that line between,
Yeah.
the folk Appalachian side and then like the more rock and Midwestern
Mm-hmm.
side.
Yeah.
Appalachian grunge, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what my guitarist coined it as, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to make it a thing on TikTok.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can change the keys to, an organ. You can do a lot of stuff with them. A violin is a violin, no matter.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I always hear You tell me stories about being on Jen's stage. I hear stories from other people. How many beers does Joey Adams consume from the time he get from his pregame till the end of the night?
Pre-game? Damn. Um, well, it's not normally just beers.
Uh huh.
Uh, it's a mixture of everything. But honestly, I drink enough to where people know like I'm having fun.
Yeah.
But I also when I first started, I got so into it, and I was like, man,
It's easy too.
it's so
It's
easy.
so
It's so
easy
easy to
too.
shotgun
It's so
seven
easy to
beers.
not taste anything when
Yeah.
you're. Yeah.
The first show I ever played in like the Wheeling area, which I think it was at Jen's. Yeah, it was at
Yeah.
Jen's. Like I sliced my hand open on a beer can, and that was like a wake up call. I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be downing 20
Yeah.
beers
Yeah.
or whatever. Um, but like no, I mean, I think I drank like a normal person because that's the thing. I will say at the end of the shows, normally I'm able to drive.
Yeah.
If not, I have someone drive me if I can't. But um, you know,
The performance never kind of slips away from you. You
yeah,
would say, yeah.
yeah. That's the thing. Like, there was like one show where I like drank a little too much,
There's always that
and
one show.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Well, and it was also like people were literally like running up to me with shots, like bringing it up, like
Yeah.
holding it up for me to take on stage, and it's like, okay, well, I can't turn them down. That's rude.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But then that night, like I remember, I forgot the words to one song, and I was like, okay, this is never happening again. Um, and honestly, like I still, I don't know. Zach, yeah, it's funny we're talking about this. Zach Top,
Uh
okay?
huh.
He just like there was like a statement he made today, which like it's rubbing some people the wrong way, but he was like, "You don't have to be an alcoholic; just drink a normal amount." and but like I'm kind of resonating with that in
Yeah.
this point in time while we're talking about this because it's like, you know, I get enough drinks in me to feel good, but I also am not gonna ever let it,
Yeah.
make me get carried away.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's hard, like we said, like your adrenaline's going. It's so hard to pay attention, like how you're feeling, because like when you're on that moment on your stage, I mean, I could probably have a good bit and just, I don't feel until as soon as the last beat of that last song is done, I get off stage. I'm like, somebody called my wife to have me
yeah.
pick me up,
Well, no,
take me home.
and that's the thing. Like, I can put it down. Like,
Yeah.
I can put it down.
See, I can't anymore.
You give me a bottle of Jack and it's gone. All right, but that's the thing. It's all about knowing your limits, knowing that moderation, and that's the thing. I want to make sure that everyone else is having a good time,
Hmm.
and doing the ceremonial shotgun in the audience,
Yeah.
and different stuff like that. Like this past show, I was pouring beer into people's mouths, like from the stage. I was just holding it out, and so like I want people to have a good time,
Yeah.
and I want to have a good time.
Hmm.
So I'm all about that good time feeling. But before the show, I'll have like one drink, maybe two,
Yeah.
and it's normally something hard. Like I'll have like some either whiskey,
Yeah.
tequila. This past time I had like a vodka soda,
Hmm.
courtesy of the bridge. Um, because I actually went down there. The guy that opened for me, Cole Greenwald, he came up from Nashville,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I'm gonna make it worth your while. Let's get you a 2 hour set at the bridge, doing your own thing, and then after that, come on
That's
over
cool.
to Jen's, and then we'll go. I'll let you play for an hour there. Then, and he killed it. He dominated. But I wanted to go support him at the bridge, so I was like,
Yeah.
all right, might as well get a drink.
I haven't performed down the bridge yet. And I mean, it hasn't looked the way it has. I mean, when did they redo that? It was probably like 3 years ago, I would say, if that. Maybe a little bit over
They
three.
they redid it the first time like 5 years ago.
Okay.
But then they did some upgrades to it.
Yeah.
More recently to where they expanded the bar and everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's a cool spot. Honestly, I could see that. You're familiar with the Purple Fiddle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I could see the bridge being the Purple
It's yeah.
Fiddle
It's got the.
of like the Wheeling Northern
Hmm.
Panhandle area.
Yeah. It's got the view kind of has it too. The you walk in, the band's right there to your left,
Yeah.
just like those like
It's
the
but
same
like
size natural bars.
it's an intimate vibe. Like
Yeah.
people aren't going in there. Like that's the thing. I could never bring. I mean, I could, but I probably couldn't bring the full band into the bridge and
Right. Yeah.
rock it out because people would probably break something. I mean, they
Hmm.
got some nice stuff in there.
Yeah.
Whereas like you could definitely go and do an intimate show. Like that is a
Yeah.
place where I think that they could keep getting bigger and bigger artists to come in, do an intimate show,
Yeah.
and it's just like the perfect.
It's the right way to set up a bar because, as far as like people leaving, you have to pass the band as you're leaving. And if that band's rocking and people are dancing, the last thing you want to do is like cut through everybody to get out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I asked you this last time I saw you in here, but what's your like favorite place in the Valley to play? Would it be Jen's?
Oh, I can't pick.
You can't pick.
No, I can't pick. Well, and it depends on what you deem like the valley.
Yeah,
Like how
that's
far out?
true.
How
Yeah.
far out does
Yeah,
that
because
go?
if we're talking like a high river valley, we could be talking like
Well, and I
out
mean,
towards.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I've played some really cool places. I mean, I can list a few. Like Generations, that's definitely the rowdiest spot.
Yeah.
Like, and that's I do love it there because we can pack. Like we had like probably 500 people in
Hmm.
there, Saturday, and it's fun. It's rowdy.
Hmm.
Like people can drink, they can fight, they can fuck, they can do whatever. Like it is
They
a
can they can hit cars and drive. Have you found the scoundrel yet?
we
Oh,
found him.
okay.
We found the guy.
Let's dox him right here. Let's out him. Name and
Pending
address.
pending a formal investigation. But yeah, we found him. But no, like Jen's, that's a rowdy spot, and,
Yeah.
and honestly, like the Duplagas, they've been so good to me because like that has been the stage that we started cutting our teeth on.
Yeah.
You know, I the first like 2 or 3 shows I played with the band, it was like okay, I was nervous because like I never played with a full
Hmm.
band, and so it's like okay, let's do this, and then Generations again. Granted, it got me drinking a lot
Yeah.
during shows, but um, it really like made me just become a better performer and
Yeah.
understand the ins and outs of okay, I'm not just here to play music. I'm here to perform. I'm here to put on a show.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Because Jen's, I mean,
because that's the thing too, Generations. If you don't bring the energy,
yeah.
people
Yeah.
are gonna leave.
Hmm.
People will not show up. They will leave.
And the Duplagas watch that
Yeah, they
like a hawk. They
oh yeah,
know they have it down to a system. Like we
yeah,
bring in some guy and we saw that the flow of people out. We looked at the stage and saw nobody moving. No
yeah.
energy. Yeah.
But no, they've been really good to me on that, and honestly, like Hawk, the sound guy
Yeah.
there, like he has like he always gives me feedback at the end of every show,
Hmm.
and he kind of gives me a pep talk before every show too. And the feedback at the end of every show is like he'll be like, "Hey, you did good," but he'll also be brutally honest. He like this last show, he was like, "This is the best performance I've ever seen out of you guys."
Yeah.
But then like the show before that, he was like, "Could have done better." He was like, and I know it's that tough love.
Yeah.
He's like, I know that what you can do,
Yeah.
and there's always room for
I
improvement.
mean, the house sound guy too. He's there every night when there is a band. He watches that same crowd. He knows. Yeah,
He knows,
the ins and
but
outs.
but then that pep talk beforehand, uh, it's the same nature.
Yeah.
It's not really a pep talk. He's like, hey, don't suck.
Yeah.
Like don't be a dumbass. Like just he's and because of that he's easily. I will say that Hawk is probably one of my favorite sound guys
Is he?
to work with. He's great. But then let's move away from Jen's. Like then you got like Waterfront Hall.
Hmm.
Love Waterfront. I love Waterfront. Love the sound guys.
Yeah.
I love all of those people. They are so nice. They're so inviting. They're so supportive.
Hmm.
And they do the same thing too. They'll dog on me.
Yeah.
And so like they're really cool down there, and that's definitely out of the two and Wheeling, those are the only two spots like I really
Two with in-house sound people that know their system, know
Dude.
their crowd, know
like
the
that's the
spot
other thing
they're
too
in.
that like you walk in there and you think, okay, like you see metal and you're like, okay, there's gonna be reverb.
They're gonna be swimming in mids or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
no, they have it dialed in.
yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing. But outside of wheeling, um, would you consider like Pittsburgh the Ohio Valley?
No, but
No, I don't.
no.
I don't really
What
know
do you
what
like
the
in
Ohio
Pittsburgh?
Valley.
Where do you go in Pittsburgh?
Club Cafe.
Okay.
That's a fun spot. Want to get into Thunderbird. That would be really
Mm-hmm.
cool. But then like you go down towards like further on down the river, you got like the Adelphia Music Hall.
Oh, Adelphia is nice. I
Uh,
played there once. Yeah.
yeah, I just
Across the street from the Adelphia, there's Marietta Wine Cellars. It's a real small, intimate place. We did acoustic shows. It's real nice.
that's cool. Yeah, I really like the Adelphia. They got a cool room in there. And they do like the big shows outside in
Yeah.
the summertime.
We played one time at the wine cellars in a Trapped. I think it Click Click Boom. I think it's that, or maybe it was no Saliva. It was Saliva. They pulled in. They did a huge metal show like right across the street when we were doing like country ballads. It was pretty funny. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah, like I like a lot of the venues in the Ohio Valley, and especially this past year and a half, branching outside of the Ohio Valley, I think there's been some really cool venues we've played, and there's been some really not cool venues, and I think musicians in the Ohio Valley don't realize how good they got it. Like,
yeah. They do.
like
Yes,
like when
that
people
is
talk
true.
about like how Wheeling was supposed to be like the original Nashville and like there was the Wheeling Jamboree and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
you can still see that cultural effect that it has had on people and the music industry
Yeah.
in this area because people know their shit.
Yeah.
Whereas like you go further out, like we go to Columbus, Cincinnati, you know, even like a few spots in Nashville. Like it depends on where you're at, but like
Yeah.
the people like the artists and musicians in the Ohio, they don't realize how good they have it with some of these places that they can play.
Yeah.
And that branches out to Pittsburgh, I think, and to like Morgantown.
Yeah.
Morgantown, like 123. Like
Yeah.
that is the coolest spot out there by far.
Yeah.
Um,
And to have access to these places and still get paid to play there. I mean, like if we're talking quality of venues, if we were talking about Nashville, you're going in there for exposure. You're not. I mean, you're working your ass off to finally get a spot in.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. Yeah, it depends. Like, if you do you have a spot on a lineup, or are you doing your own show?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go down there and they think like, okay, like I want to do the whole music thing, and then they don't realize how hard it is, and then they end up playing for exposure.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that my playing for exposure days.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they're behind me, but also like, I,
Yeah.
I make sure like we're getting compensated for
Right.
everything we do.
Hmm.
And that's just one of the things like the places up here they understand it, but also I think it takes the artist to understand it because you get a lot of artists that they go into a place and like, oh, I want to play a show here, but then
Yeah.
can you sell tickets?
Yeah.
And that goes back to that whole thing. Can you sell tickets? Because that's what really matters is, can you sell tickets? Can you get asses in seats? Can you get people there? Are they going to be drinking? Are they going to be having a fun time? Like, that's the stuff you got to realize.
And it seems like I've seen a few coming out of Pittsburgh now. I think like people are so fed up. I don't know if it's maybe from like we were talking about earlier, you boost these like phony numbers and then come in, but like, I mean, you see some of these contracts is like you're getting door, but we're getting. I mean, like you're almost getting nothing unless you're bringing in the door because we're getting like this fee, this percentage of stuff. I think they might just be fed up with it. I think they might be just over.
I mean,
I don't know what I've seen some contracts. I'm like, wow, they're not going to pay you anything unless you bring in something.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Check.
I think that kind of goes in with the artist again, like being realistic with themselves.
Yeah.
Because unless you have a following to where, you can bring in and pack a house,
Yeah.
like you're not going to make money. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter.
Right.
You're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
And so like the artist needs to be realistic in that expectation. They can't go and say, "Hey, I want to play this room," and then not have the intention of selling it out.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing.
Especially if your marketing is telling everybody we're selling this out.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like we played 123. think that's the show I think that was the show we kicked off the year with.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that with our boys Seneca out there and
Okay.
Spencer Hutchison, and they like Seneca. They brought their crowd. We brought our crowd. Spencer brought his crowd, and like that's I think a 300 to 500 cat venue, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And we got paid at the end of the night,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember like one or two of the guys. I can't remember if they were in my band or if they were in one of the other bands. They were like, "That's not normal to get that much money playing
Mm-hmm.
here."
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's because our goal is to
Right.
put asses in seats, bring people in, sell tickets,
Mm-hmm.
not just hey, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a show here and
Yeah.
hope for the best."
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as you like, when you're talking about like your days of exposure are done, it's like a lot of times now you see people offering exposure. You look at their marketing and be like, what's the exposure you're offering me?
Right,
Is the exposure just like all of your regulars going to be there, or is
right.
you know what I mean? It's
Or is it like even playing for exposure, opening up for someone. Um,
it's like what's exposure? Is somebody filming me? It's you know what I mean. Am I get what's the exposure? It's not just
yeah,
yeah.
and honestly too, there's been times where like I did play for exposure
Uh huh.
and I played, brought more people than the headliner,
Yeah.
and I had to have a talk with the venue after. I was like, listen,
Yeah.
I was playing for exposure, but they played for exposure tonight. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
how about we renegotiate here because
Mm-hmm.
that's I'm not
Right.
leaving here
Right.
without money.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the thing though. But yeah, I don't want to say those days are fully behind me because like you
Yeah.
never know what happens.
But the thing is,
I
you
don't
look
want
at
to.
every situation differently. I mean, that's all it
Yeah,
is. I mean,
right. I mean that's the thing too. It's like if someone said, "Hey, you're gonna come open up for Morgan Wall and we're not paying you a dime, but you're gonna be the only opener." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, okay, deal. I'll pay you."
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
like hell, that's a whole different ball game. But
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of stuff like playing for exposure, and I get it in a
Or
sense.
somebody just like, hey, we have everything handled for you. All you have to do is come up here for an hour. You don't have anything to do. Like, yeah, sure. But yeah.
See, and even then, I'm like, no, like if
Yeah.
because this thing, if my name's attached to it, then
That's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna be bringing people,
Yeah.
and so it's like, okay, I am entitled to some of that.
That's true. Yeah.
But also like I don't know. I think when you are first starting and you're cutting
Yeah.
your teeth, um, like I think it almost is needed to play for
Yeah.
exposure.
And you can cut your teeth and pass the bucket around the other night. You'll probably get the same amount as if you would, negotiate something like that.
Right. Well, and it's also like I remember I first played uh, Club Cafe in
Uh huh.
Pittsburgh, and I opened up for Charlie Parr.
Okay.
And at the time he was touring, doing a big thing, and I was. They were like, "Hey, like I think at the time they were like, we'll give you $50 for 45 minutes," and he had a big following. Like it was a Wednesday night, he sold the place out.
Uh huh.
But I knew he was gonna do that, and I did it. I was like, okay, I'll play. $50. I'm driving an hour up to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically paying for exposure.
Right.
But it worked out in my favor because now I go to Pittsburgh and I have a built-in crowd there.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't have to rely on people from Wheeling or people from anywhere coming up. Like, and it shows too. Like, I can go back to like streaming numbers. I can see what cities
Mm-hmm.
are
Yeah.
my top
You can
listeners.
go ages,
Yeah,
gender, everything.
and Pittsburgh consistently top five.
Really.
Like it is a big city for me, and that's something too. Like I think if we go and we advertise it that hey, we're doing a headline show at a venue up there, like
How's Columbus for you?
Columbus.
Because when I was with Matt, it was flip flopped. We had so many bigger numbers in Columbus. We'd always hit up Columbus over Pittsburgh, and it always sucked because I was like, we're driving 2 hours for like these shows when it'd been more convenient. But
I've only done a handful of shows in Columbus.
oh, really?
I would like to do more,
Yeah.
just because that's really not far from where I'm from. Because
Oh, okay.
I'm from like close to Zanesville. I'm
That's
from
right. Yeah, yeah. You
Brookfield.
did tell me that.
Um, so like, and I have friends in like Newark and Columbus and everything. So like, I know they would all like to come out and see me and
Yeah.
support me. But we do have good streaming numbers and good listener numbers in Columbus. So I think
Yeah.
I was talking to you about doing that tour.
Yeah.
And I think whenever we do that tour, we'll likely come back and hit like Indianapolis and Columbus on the
Yeah.
way back.
Seemed like Columbus always had like the bigger clubs, but they'd always be there for like 5 years. You would have like Tequila Cowboy Columbus, but then they would go down. Then there was one that was like Blazing Saddles. It was like a huge Jurgles, and then that went down. It seemed like Pittsburgh, they're more stable once they
Yeah,
come up.
Columbus's music scene, it's really up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like they'll be there for 5 years and then they'll go away
Yeah.
and it'll be something new.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few spots
A lot more
that
culture is coming into that area, though.
yeah,
Too.
yeah, and there's a few spots that have really like remained and stood the test of time. But honestly, like they just had like Columbus just hasn't been a huge
Yeah.
focus for us.
Yeah.
Because also like you don't really hear of a lot of country music in Columbus
Right,
unless
right.
it is like Buckeye
Yeah.
Country Fest. Or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. So, but you know, we try and work Columbus into the lineup like at least once or twice a year.
There's a really cool spot in Dublin. It was like all sand. It might be like a 5,000 seat venue. We saw Old Dominion there. My wife and I. It was a whole. I can't remember what it was. It's in Dublin. I will have to think of that. That'd be a perfect Joey Adams venue.
Dude, I tell you what, you know what's a cool venue? Timber Rock Amphitheater.
Where's that at?
It's over in PA. It's like an hour, 2 hours away. It's up on this mountain. Dude, you go there, the entire backdrop is just the Allegheny Mountains.
Really?
It is beautiful. I saw Billy Currington there this past summer.
Really?
And it was just it gave me chills seeing the view, let alone
Yeah.
like, watching that show. But I
Do
mean,
you go Lazy Acres? It's not too far from here. Lazy Acre Campground. We played there with Gage, and I'm thinking of like I'm trying to think of like the coolest venues I've played. Man, that's one of the top there. I can't remember where exactly it was in Ohio, but
I've been there before. I haven't played there yet.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like Ohio, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from there.
uh-huh.
I book like a couple shows there, like throughout. Like we just played Akron,
Uh-huh.
which basically Cleveland.
Right, right.
But so like we played Akron and like that was a good show. We brought a good amount of people there. Um, but like I'll probably throw Columbus in the mix and then Cincinnati at some point, maybe another one in between, and then for the year, like that'll be it. Like we'll do like 3 or 4 shows in Ohio, and
Yeah.
then like we'll move around because I already have like that listener base there. I want to feed into that listener base,
Yeah.
but also like I want to keep expanding and going other places. Same way with like Wheeling. Like 2 years ago, I'd have played Wheeling like 12 times a year, 20 times a year, 30.
Yeah.
I mean, but now it's like this year, I only marked it down for 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I think technically we're doing 3. Yeah, we're doing 3 now.
Yeah.
And but they're like spread out. Like that's the thing. Like we just played Generations. We'll do Waterfront for the Jamboree City.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we'll do another show towards the end of the year. Just looking at that as like kind of like home base because like we get
Right.
rowdy up in here.
Yeah.
But like yeah, that's the thing. Like we won't play Wheeling a whole lot because we don't want to exhaust it, which I don't think we could if we wanted to. But B,
Yeah.
it's like you want to keep expanding. You want to keep doing stuff. So like I'm honestly looking towards the rest of the years. Like we got that tour run that we're gonna do that cuts through like southern West Virginia, going through Kentucky, Illinois.
Yeah. That's the way to
Missouri.
go. Yeah.
And then honestly, I've been really eyeing up if we can make it work financially, doing a Oklahoma Texas run.
Yeah.
Just because Oklahoma Texas, our streaming numbers, followers, all
Yeah.
that, huge over there.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot of support from the people from like the Texas scene. I did another podcast last week with a podcast called Western Grunge Tape Deck.
From
And
down there?
yeah, like
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
like they're based out of Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure, and so it's like that's I've gotten a lot of support
Yeah.
from the people out there, so like I want to be able to do that, and then I also want to do something down south too because I see a lot of stuff like
Yeah.
in Atlanta and Charlotte and Nashville and all that. So I think we're really gonna just start sticking to those touring routes. We'll have
Yeah.
our kind of northern touring route going, northern West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, moving up into like Michigan, northern Illinois, and then we'll do like our Kentucky route and then Texas and our southern route.
So I mean, like using your analytics, finding out where the people are, getting the shows booked isn't hard. It's just really the logistics of just like the travel and getting everything planned that way.
It's the logistics of the finances. Booking is can still be difficult because
Yeah.
honestly, like that's the thing. I'm not gonna go book a show in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm the
Hmm.
headliner.
Yeah.
And if I am, it's gonna be a small venue.
Hmm.
Um, like, or if I do, I'm gonna have a stacked lineup with other local people
Yeah.
that are gonna help me put asses in seats. Because
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
that's goal number one for the venue. It's goal number one for us because that
Yeah.
means we make money. The venue makes money.
Hmm.
So like, we want to be able to do that, and I'm not gonna, that, and that goes into the whole logistics thing.
Yeah.
Like we're plotting these different tours and all that, and I want to make sure that we make money, the venues make
Yeah.
money, and there's that whole thing where it's like that whole saying, every tour loses money for like the majority of artists.
Hmm.
I think that's just poor planning.
I think it is too.
I,
Yeah.
I think I think that is total bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's been told to me time and time again, and I don't know. I think the people that do that, it's like, okay, I get it. You are taking a dive because you're going. I think at that point you're playing for exposure.
Yeah.
You know, you're
That.
you're
Yeah.
you're going out because you will bring a couple people. You'll bring 10, 20 people into a bar or a venue, and you're playing for exposure, and good on you because that takes a lot. That's road dogging, and
Yeah.
that's a huge financial wear and tear, but
On
also
your
like
body. I mean, it's
on your body, on your
yeah.
mind too. Like,
Yeah.
cause think about that too. Like, you say you go on tour, and like you'll see some of these smaller acts. They'll go on tour and they'll play at a venue or whatever. They'll play to 5, 10 people, and it's like that. I know that
That
would
sucks.
that would
Yeah.
that would wear on me
Yeah.
mentally, and everyone has to play to 5, 10 people.
Yeah.
They have to play to an empty room at some point,
Yeah.
if not multiple times. But the whole idea of tours always lose money. I think if you plan it right and you do it well,
Yeah.
like you can make money, or at least very least break even.
Hmm. Yeah. And you can definitely break even just like how gritty do you want to live on on that tour?
That's the other thing too. Is like some of these guys, like some artists and people, they'll go on tour and they'll be like, okay, we need to have $200 for a hotel room for this night, and this night. I'm like,
Buddy,
hold
I'll sleep in that
hold
passage see if I
hold
have to.
up,
Yeah.
okay? I got a Planet Fitness Black card. I pay $25 a month
Exactly.
for. That's my
Exactly.
shower right
Yeah,
there, okay?
exactly.
And like I will eat the grossest food that entire time, and that's the truth too, because like up until this past year, I was unemployed. So
Hmm.
like I didn't have a job. Like
Yeah.
I graduated college and I had that like year long unemployment drought that like I feel like a lot of college grads are having.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I mean technically I was a substitute teacher. Um, but that's not stable income.
Right, right.
Um, so like with that, you know, there were times we'd go and book a show and it would be 2, 3 hours away, 4 hours away. And I would just think, okay, I got this much money for gas. I got this much money for,
Yeah.
a 10-piece chicken nugget at McDonald's. Hell, man,
Yeah.
I tell you what, I go to Nashville, and like we were talking earlier, I've been going to Nashville a lot recently,
Yeah.
and that is a huge financial burden. Dude,
Hmm.
last time I went to Nashville, I stayed in two separate hotels. Both had bed bugs.
Yeah.
I paid $100 a night for each one, and I ate one meal a day every day while I was down there, and it was the 20-piece chicken nugget with basket of fries from
Yeah.
McDonald's.
And as far as like musician living, that's like you're on the top echelon if you're
Yeah,
looking at all the
yeah.
Nashville. Yeah.
I know, and it's funny though because I told that to some of my buddies that live down there, and they're like, "Dog, what are you doing? I got a spare bedroom."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm not trying to be that guy," like, but they were like, "Please don't do that
Oh
again."
man.
My one buddy, I co-write with this guy Joe Gentleman, and he's a phenomenal artist. Dude's insane writer. He's great energy. Um, he was like, yeah, dude, if you need somewhere to stay tomorrow night, because I was like contemplating going back or staying another night, and he's like, if you need to stay tomorrow night, like you need a place to crash, just like come over. I'll leave the place unlocked. You can
Yeah.
walk my dog. And like I'm like, all right, cool, like bet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was somebody that just came back from Nashville. I was talking to. They were there, I think, like 2 weeks, and I think they were just door dashing while they were down there
that's
and gigging and stuff. And it was basically like door dashing enough to get money to feed yourself. And then
yeah.
they were telling me like, yeah, technically you can like have like one missing door dash every 2 weeks. So I'll just like not deliver one of them just to
I
get
was gonna say,
myself
I
a
was about to
meal.
say, man, hey man, if I was doing that, I'd be sneaking fries out the bag. I would not be.
Yeah,
Good thing I don't DoorDash.
yeah. But that, I mean, like you said, I think you can do the work to definitely break even.
Yeah,
To say like to say that you've tried your hardest and you didn't make anything or didn't break even is kind of
I was gonna say if you tried your hardest and you didn't break even,
you're playing for exposure just to say you're on tour.
yeah,
I would
like
say,
that's the thing, man, and that's another thing too is like unless you are backed by a label, odds are everyone in your band, including yourself, have a day job,
yeah,
and with that day job, like you're taking time off work.
yeah,
You don't want to break even. You want to make at least something.
yeah,
Like that's the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. Like some artists, they kind of get in their own head about it, and they're like, "We need to go play these places. We need to go do this." But it's like, okay, are you being smart about
yeah,
how you're building your shows and where you're playing and all that? So
yeah. I'll tell you what. I was thinking when you were mentioning about not going into wheeling as much, and like, how old are you right now?
25.
25. See, a decade older than you, so I got
You're 35.
I'm 35.
What?
Take good care of myself now.
Hey
I try
man.
to.
Hey.
But if you're playing in just one spot around your friends and everybody that you grew up with, I mean, there's a limit to how much they can go out. Especially like when we start like they start getting together, having kids and stuff. If you limit yourself to one demographic, eventually that crowd that is 100% supportive of you just can't be at all times. But if you branch out, now you have a crowd nationwide to where when you're traveling, you're picking up the people that can see you all the time.
Right.
And it is huge because I saw that myself. Like, you start turning like 30 and you're thinking like, obviously they can't come out to see me all the time if they're in Wheeling. But if you make the online presence and stuff and you start bringing in fans over, like, the friends, you start having results like
Right.
that.
And also, it's like you can even look at that without leaving your own hometown or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, Wheeling, it doesn't matter how many times I play here. I go play a show, I get minimum like 50 new followers on Instagram,
Yeah.
and it's all people that I've either never seen me,
Mm-hmm.
or and they just came out because they were like, oh, there's a show, let's go, or it's like someone younger, like someone that just graduated high school, they're graduating college, they're in college, like
Yeah.
they come out to a show, and it's crazy because like you have to that demographic doesn't just work with location, it works with age.
Yeah.
And
I tell you what, one of the best things that worked out for me, especially this area, is I have two younger brothers. One's 2 years younger than me, one's 6 years younger than me. So when they were getting into like the 21, especially my brother that's 6 years younger than me, when they started getting into that 21-year age where they started bar hopping, it was almost like a little resurgence of like a local crowd for me.
right,
It was
yeah,
really, really nice. And like, especially like playing Generations, that's like almost like a cycle. It's just always refreshing, like the college age people that are consuming your music. So you're always getting new people to,
right, and
yeah,
also too, it's like I think a lot of it also goes into the type of music you play,
yeah,
because I'm not just looking at the younger crowd, I'm looking at the older crowd too.
mm-hmm,
And the older crowd, they don't want to come to a show and hear trap beats and whatever else. They want to hear some solid musicianship.
yeah,
And like I mean that's what they all grew up
mm-hmm,
on. I mean, I have people messaging me day in day out, and they can be 18 years old, they can be 80 years old,
mm-hmm,
and it's really cool to see that wide of a gap,
yeah,
and to see, okay, this isn't just resonating with the younger crowd, it's resonating with an older crowd too.
yeah,
And that's something that I really like, because I think even if I think the younger crowd, while they may be like more early adapters to new music,
mm-hmm,
the older crowd, they if they find something they like,
You have a
Man,
fan. You have a
man,
consumer
do
for life.
they
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and that's something too, like,
Who's buying the shirts at the end?
right,
Who's buying the merch? And
right,
yeah.
and I don't know, man. Like, any of my friends that see this, they're gonna say, "Okay, here he goes again." Eric Church, love that
Uh
guy.
huh.
All right, favorite artist all time, and he started off playing. Not started off, but he did a tour with Bob Seger,
Mm-hmm.
and this was in the 2000s.
Uh
So
huh.
like, Bob was past his prime.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, so like, he was way past his prime, and but playing with him,
Introduced.
he
Yeah.
got that
Introduced them.
older crowd. He got that older crowd, and some of the younger crowd that still listens to him. But like, he got that older crowd that, you know, a lot of artists miss out on.
Yeah.
And unless
Yeah.
you're like a 60-year-old scrolling through TikTok and
Mm-hmm.
you find them and you think, man, this person's really good. Like, otherwise you're gonna miss out on that
Yeah.
crowd. And that's why it's like it's important to be kind of inclusive in the
Yeah.
demographic and the age range and everything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, it's like you would like that older crowd. You will definitely get that like lifetime consumer turnover.
Right.
So fat. I mean, there was one couple that I think older couple I met in Zanesville, and they just followed us around to everywhere. And I remember I picked up during COVID when we couldn't play. I picked up. It was when things were starting to lift up. I picked up a job at Kohl's, and I remember I got engaged, and like my manager was like, "Hey, there's an older couple that wants to take a picture out of you outside the building. They heard you got engaged." It was this couple that followed me around. It was the weirdest thing, and all these other
That's cool.
employees like, "What the hell is
That's
going
cool.
on?"
That's
But
cool.
yeah, that's like you will find if they are it's harder to get them in because, like you said, their tastes are a little bit higher. But if you can wrap them in, you got lifetime
That's
consumers of your product.
taste is a little bit higher. That's another thing
Yeah,
because that older generation, man, they grew up with some of the best
I
music,
know.
some of the best artists, best performers. I mean, you got to think, like, our parents.
And
They,
locally too, like the Jamboree and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, dude, and our parents, like, they got to grow up. Like, my older brother, this was like maybe a year ago now. He said, "Go listen to what's that song? Is it I Want a Lover by John Mellencamp?
That won't
Or
drive me crazy.
yeah, I Need a Lover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know
yeah,
who it's by.
yeah. It's John Mellencamp.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, "Go listen to that." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Tell me what you hear." I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Okay." And I listened to it like 7 times in my car back to back, and I was like, What am I supposed to be hearing right now? Like, I've heard this song like
Uh-huh.
all my life. Like, my dad got us hooked on Mellencamp when we were younger,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Just close your eyes and imagine hearing that live in concert."
Yeah.
Like, imagine what that would have felt like. And I'm like, you know what, man? That would have been awesome. That's
Yeah.
like you got people like John Mellencamp, Bruce Springsteen, Bob Seger. Like,
Mhm.
you got some massive artists that have stood the test of time too. That's another thing. You see artists since like the 2000s, they hit their peak,
Yeah.
and even the 90s, they hit their peak and they start to decline. And
Mhm.
that's a normal life cycle for an
Mhm.
artist. I think like the Wheeling Capitol, the Capitol Theater,
Yeah.
like, I think because of the size of the venue, they get artists who are either on the up or on the
On the
down.
down, yeah.
And and not even like, a sharp slope down, like they're still touring everywhere and all that, but like,
Yeah.
clearly they're not selling out arenas anymore.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
like ZZ Top.
yeah,
They're not clearing out arenas, but also I don't think they give a shit. I think they're rocking
no,
out the Capitol. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
dude,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like you see a lot of that now, and even more so. But going back to the older artists, I feel
Yeah.
like you maybe don't see that as often.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Springsteen, if Springsteen went and played somewhere, he could sell it out. Like, he could sell out an arena.
Yeah.
I mean, same way. I mean, look at Alan Jackson, George Strait, like,
Yeah.
those dudes. Like, they can still sell out arenas,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I mean, I don't know if we'll ever. I mean, clearly we still have artists that I think will stand the test of time,
Mm-hmm.
but I think now there's a lot more just
It's the age of spin. It's like what's next.
yeah,
And yeah.
yeah,
It's very hard. It makes it easier because you can get that song out on TikTok. But I mean, this is always what's next. It's
Yeah.
always what's next. It's really nice though looking at like your approach to everything, how like you yourself can go in, look at your analytics, look where your audience is, and plan out your next move. When before it's guesswork, or you had to hire somebody that acts like they know what like
Yeah,
what you're. Yeah,
absolutely.
and I think it's amazing. Like nobody. It just I talk to so many people that tell me like I'm doing this 100%. I'm all in, and I'm thinking like, why don't I see a post from you in like a week? And over a week, and I use you as an example all the time as somebody local. I'm like, do you go on Joey's page, look at his of what he's doing, and then look at your page and think it's the same amount of output, but you're telling me that you're putting in like your whole life's work, you're putting in 100% effort. Where it's you gotta.
You're not. And you never are. You never will be. Hell, I'm like that's the thing. Like I'm still posting on TikTok every day, every other day, whatever, and multiple
Yeah.
times a day, and or Instagram, however. And it's like you are never reaching your full potential, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
And there's always more room to build.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too is like I remember I used to get so stressed out. And honestly, I kind of credit some of like the success. I mean, if that's what you want to call
Hmm.
it. But I credit some of that momentum that I've seen recently to my buddy Luke DePlaga, or not Luke DePlaga. Sorry, Luke.
Shout out Luke DePlaco.
I do love you, Luke. Luke Caraba.
Okay.
Similar names.
Uh huh.
But Luke Caraba, he used to work for Mike Stud, and he I was like talking to him one night, and I remember I was really frustrated. Like this was in the middle of winter, so it was like
Uh huh.
I was seasonally depressed, and he was like, "Dude, you just have to go and be the most authentic version of yourself,
Hmm.
and get as many people to see that as possible.
And you don't have to be, and do not be scared about putting that out.
Don't be
I
scared."
think locally, so many people are scared of just putting something out that isn't perfect, that people might talk about, that they hesitate, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. But you just have to
Yeah,
jump.
it doesn't have to be polished. Nothing has to be polished. People don't want polished. I
No.
mean, that's proof. You look at, again, look at Bruce Springsteen, look at Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
They don't have the best voices. They don't have like anything
Yeah.
like that. They're unpolished. They're raw.
Hmm.
And that's what a lot of people want to see. They want to see that raw effect. And, but because of that, that like little pep talk that Karaba gave me, it
Yeah.
really kind of kicked my ass in gear.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And he said some other things too. And but the gist was is like, okay, hey, I'm not doing enough. I
Hmm.
never will be doing enough.
Yeah.
I'm not doing enough right now. I need to do more.
Yeah.
Because every TikTok I make, every Instagram post, every song I put out is a free lottery ticket.
It is, and
It's
and it could be 2 months old. It could be 4 months old. You don't know when it's going to hit.
I tell you what, and that's crazy that you say that too, because
It's
I
nuts.
put out West Virginia Girls, right? I put that out 2 years ago, 3 years ago almost.
Uh huh.
And I put that out, and it has climbed over time. It's like my second most streamed song.
Uh huh.
Um, and just like late last fall, something like caught it,
Yeah.
and I saw a big spike.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is going on?" Come to find out, a bunch of people at W tailgates were playing it.
Mm.
Someone had found it, and they started playing it at a bunch of the tailgates. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so like now it's starting to have its moment.
Yeah.
And then you look at people like Tyler Childers, man.
Hmm.
Like he released the album that has, is it Purgatory, that has Feathered Indians on
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Purgatory.
Yeah. So he released that album, I think 2017.
Hmm.
Didn't really catch on till like 2019,
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
I mean, and even then you got all of his older stuff that then caught on too.
Right.
So
Right.
like, I mean, a lot of people, they don't even say that Purgatory is their favorite album of his.
And if you talk to him, it was like he wrote that before during like the darkest point of his life, and
Right.
by the time it became popular, he's like, I'm not even that same person anymore. I don't even
Right.
want to sing these songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So it's like you never know.
Yeah.
You really never know. But the whole point is to, take those shots.
Yeah.
Put every lottery ticket that you have out there. It's all free. Hell,
It's
man,
all free.
you can go make 20 TikToks in a day. One of them catches.
Mhm.
There you are. And it's like you got that, and then on top of that, just be your most authentic and original self.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because like I'll have clips that somebody's like, have you checked your TikTok? I've never put out a piece of content that I put workout into and it's gone viral the way I expect it to. It's always like checking my phone, like, how's this happen? Like, why did this happen? And
Literally the Wild Ones TikTok. I posted that when I was literally like going back and forth between the bathroom,
uh-huh.
and I was like, I need something to do. I can't focus on the TV. I just need something to do. So I did that, and I woke up the next day, and where I had normally been getting like 30 likes on a post, it had 100. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, sweet,
Yeah, yeah.
100. And then I checked the next day, 300. And it just kept climbing, and that's the thing, like you never know, it's always the ones that you least
Yeah.
expect too. And so and that goes with songwriting, putting out songs, because Wild Ones, again, I had 3 songs,
Uh-huh.
maybe 4, at the start of the year, that I was like, okay, I'm gonna put out the one that I wanted to put out first is the one that we're dropping Friday.
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
don't
yeah.
mind.
Uh-huh.
And because I was like, man, that's witty, it's fun, it's upbeat, I love it,
Yeah.
it's cool. That was the one I wanted to drop first, because and also I thought, it was the safer of the two.
Yeah.
Wild Ones, it talks about, some, hot goth chick that, ends
Mm.
up giving you roofie and,
Yeah.
tying you up, and then, by the end of the song she's dancing on the ceiling, like
Yeah.
drawing your blood, like, I don't know, like it's I remember like hearing the finished product, and I was like, that one's too much.
Yeah.
I can't put that one out first. I got to ease people into it. But then actually, and our guy from Republic
Uh-huh.
reached out to me, and he was like, dude, you have to put this out. And
Yeah.
I was like, are you for real right now? Because I wasn't planning on putting it out 1st. He
Mhm.
goes, no, fuck every other song you have. Like he was like, I haven't even heard them. This one,
Yeah, yeah,
put it
yeah.
out, it'll do numbers. Sure enough, it's at 100K as of today, and it's
Yeah.
like, that is like insane. And it's always the ones that you least expect. Same thing happened with Deep End too. Like that ended up being one of like my crowd's favorite songs,
Mhm.
and it was something completely different from what I was going for at the time, and I wasn't sure about it.
Yeah.
But it ended up catching. So
Yeah. The analytics, man. Yeah. So it would have dropped last night at midnight, this new single. So it's out right now. If somebody didn't know you're dropping out a single, it's available right now.
because
Right?
this
Because
comes
you
out
said
Friday.
comes out Friday, but you're doing it Thursday into
Yeah.
Friday, right?
Yeah, so it
So
comes
it's
out.
out now.
It comes
Okay.
out Thursday night at midnight. So Friday
Yeah,
morning
yeah.
at midnight. Yeah.
Nice. So
However
it's
you
out
look at
right
it.
now. Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
only putting it out to Spotify? Is that how you do it?
No. I put it out everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And that's again, you look at the analytics from other sources too.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify's the big one.
That's
Spotify.
mine too.
I mean
Yeah.
that's where you can see other people's monthly listeners, their stream
Yep.
counts, all
Yep.
that. So like I feel like that one is under the lens a little bit
Yeah.
more. Whereas Apple doesn't necessarily show that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned recently that Apple is just equally as important, because Apple is predominantly used in the US.
Oh, okay.
So like for a country artist,
Mm-hmm.
that's huge. You want to see your Apple, like you want to see Spotify doing numbers, because Spotify is still the biggest one in the
Right.
US
Right.
and in the world.
Yeah.
But Apple is like,
If you see Apple, it's predominantly in the US.
yeah, if you see Apple, it's mainly being used in the US.
Yeah.
A lot of people outside of the US don't use Apple. And so to see the numbers climb on there too, it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, we really got something cooking.
See, on the podcasting side, Spotify bought out Anchor, which was the biggest distributor.
Mm-hmm.
So now basically, if you watch a podcast through Apple, Amazon, all kinds of different ones, you're actually just watching a Spotify video with a different rap. Like it all goes through. I mean, for most part, some people use iHeart as well, but yeah, if I'm uploading this episode, I just got to put it out to Spotify. Everything else is handled. So really, I mean, they kind of like took it over.
Yeah, see, so we upload through DistroKid.
DistroKid, yeah.
Yeah, and so we upload it through there, and then that just spits it out to
Yeah.
every streaming platform.
I think back in the day, like CD Baby was like the only
Yeah,
like,
it's
service
still
back then.
CD
Yeah.
Baby. Honestly, I'm thinking about switching away from DistroKid too.
Really, a couple people have been telling me they. might
Yeah,
have.
just because I've seen some stuff online, and honestly, like, there's certain things that I want with it that it's not offering me.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, whenever I had Wild Ones blow up on TikTok, and then it dropped, and so like I distribute it to TikTok.
Yeah.
what did TikTok do? Did it merge the sound from the old videos? Nope.
No.
So now all the old videos that blew up, no sound.
No sound on them.
No sound. And like, there's nothing I can do about it because it was like a month ago. So people are still liking the videos because I guess a lot of people watch TikTok with the sound off.
Sound
And
off.
they're just liking the lyrics.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, that's so, I don't know. That's something that I need to get fixed. And I've been looking at like Symphonic. I've heard about them. So I don't know. We'll see where we go from there.
Well, Mr. Joey Adams, I think we went well above my usual limit, but I'm happy. Happy to have you in here on a day's notice.
Yeah.
And did you ever put out Hey Darlin' on anything?
It's on YouTube. I did a live version in a field.
Did you? Okay, I didn't know if you actually put it out to Spotify because I love that song when you came in.
That's on the list. So with everything going on,
we're
gonna release a bunch of singles, but we're actually eyeballing an album in the future. So that'll be one of the cuts.
That was really good, like Eric Church vibe when you did it here. That was perfect.
Yeah, I love that one.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you. Go check out the new single right now.
Jesus Don't Mind.
Jesus Don't Mind right now. Then after you're done, check out Wild Ones because it's a good one. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.